Okay, hello, good morning. My name is Lani Yakubu, and I am an SDG advocate. I am live this morning at Breaking Ground Nursery and Primary School, Maryland, to introduce their students to Sustainable Development Goals. I already have my instructional materials here, and I'm ready. They are ready to have me. So come with me.
You're welcome.
Are the students? Okay, and I am an SDG advocate. So I've come this morning because I want to introduce you to what Sustainable Development Goals are, why they are important to all of us, and most importantly, what you as an individual can do to help achieve these goals. So when I say SDG, what I mean is Sustainable Development Goals. Can we say that? Sustainable Development Goals. Beautiful. Beautiful. So before I start, I want to first of all tell you a brief history of how Sustainable Development Goals came to be. Now, let me do. I want to put it in the language that you all can understand. So the United Nations brought together some countries, and then they had a conference in 2012. You know what a conference is bringing people together to deliberate on issues. That is what it means to have a meeting and talk about certain things. So that's what it means to have a conference. So they had this conference in 2012, and then the purpose of the conference is that they want to, set out some goals, some objectives. They want to draw out some solutions to the problem that is facing the world at large. So that was why they had that meeting. So when they came together, different countries that are part of this United Nations, including Nigeria, which is our own country, was also part of the people that came for this meeting. So when they met, they set out some objectives, some goals. You know what the goal is? A goal is like when you set something and say, I want to do this thing, like I'm planning to do this thing. So once you do it, you know that you have achieved a goal. So they set out these goals. There are 17 goals in number. And the ones, these goals, there are 17 in number. I'm going to introduce you to them very soon. So but what these goals aim to achieve is there are different problems that is facing the world, at large. So these goals were set out to meet these problems. I want to proffer solutions to this problem. Do we understand? Yes. So these goals, like I said, are 17 in number. How many SDGs do we have? 17. Very good. So I'm going to start with the first one. So the first one is, can we say?
No poverty.
Please say that again.
No poverty.
So you say SDG1, no poverty.
SDG1, no poverty.
SDG1, no poverty.
SDG1, no poverty.
Very good. So I'm going to tell you what this particular SDG is. Like we said, no poverty. And how many of you know what poverty is? Please tell us. Tell us your name and be fast. Don't be shy now. Are you shy? Okay, you know what? So I always start time. Poverty is like the state of extreme lack. When you are not able to meet your basic need, when you are not able to do the things that you need to do because you don't have money or you don't have the resources to do so, we are living in poverty. You understand? So now the truth is there are a lot of people who are suffering in Nigeria. Not only Nigeria, but many countries all over the world. So this SDG1 goal is saying that there should be no poverty. Countries should ensure that there's no poverty of any kind. And the way they can do it is, first of all, to enhance economic opportunities, empower people, give them money to start business, give them something to do. When you're doing business, you have money, you can provide for yourself. And by doing so, you're no longer in poverty, right? So SDG2 talks about zero
hunger.
Zero
hunger.
So SDG2, zero hunger.
SDG2, zero hunger.
Say that again.
SDG2, zero hunger.
Beautiful. So now, what does zero hunger mean? In a way, it is linked to, like when you say no poverty, you're also saying there should be no hunger. Nobody should be hungry. That is what this SDG is saying. So like I said, remember what I told you in the beginning, that they met and said that they want to come up with different goals that, they can use to solve problems. And then one of the problems, they say no poverty. And the second one, they said there should be no hunger. You understand? So how do you ensure that there's no hunger? In fact, let me even give you a statistic. They say almost let's say, let me get it right. 122 million people are currently living in poverty. So you can tell that definitely people who are living in poverty are also starving. you know, so it's easy for you to just link it that way. So now to achieve that, you can use, you know, the government can transform, you know, our food systems, give more money to farmers so that they can farm more food. You know, so when we have people producing more food, of course there'll be food going around. Like we say, I'm saying when people are brought out of poverty, they have the means to even buy food. By that way, we have eliminated hunger. So SDG 2 is what again?
No hunger.
Beautiful. So let us move on to
SDG
3. So what do we have here?
Good health and well-being.
What do we have here?
Good health and well-being.
So SDG 3 is what?
Good health and well-being.
Beautiful. That's very good. All of you clap for yourself. Okay, now the aim of this particular one is to achieve good health for everybody. You know, we live in Nigeria, for instance. Now, some of you might not know this thing, but it's happening, which is why I'm here to tell you this one. Now, in Nigeria, for instance, there are people who live in certain parts that small sickness like this, they don't even have good hospitals to go to. And when there are no good hospitals, you know what happens when people are sick. Small thing like this, you hear that they are dead. Now, malaria is also an issue in Africa, and Nigeria too in particular. So this good health is saying that every nation needs to provide good hospitals. We need to give them, you know, provide social amenities in terms of providing that good health for everybody. So that's what SDG 3 basically is talking about. And what did I say it is? Good health and well-being. So the SDGs are many. So let me be fast so I don't eat into your time. So SDGs 4 now is what?
Quality education.
Say that again.
Quality education.
SDG 4 is what?
Quality education.
Beautiful. So this one, we already know is self-explanatory. All of you are here today in breaking ground of their primary school because you want to achieve quality education. Your parents know the value of being educated. That's why all of you are here. So this goal is saying that everyone should be educated. Because even to achieve all the other goals, the first thing that is important is to achieve education. Education. Okay, it's not called education, it's education. Right? So now, if you want to even achieve no poverty, zero hunger, for instance, you want to empower people, they need to first of all even be learned before you can empower them, which is where education comes in, and it is very, very important. So what this goal is saying that every country should make education a national priority. Now, I'm happy that all of you are here today, you are in school, because your parents saw the importance of being in school. But believe me, there are some people living in the same Nigeria that we are, that they are not in school. As you're in school this morning, some people are not in school. If you go to rural areas, some people are in the farm right now. Children who are supposed to be in school. So this particular goal is saying that every country should ensure that and the children, the citizens are educated. And the way they can do that is to, you know, provide good schools, subsidize the fees. Now, I know, okay, people are here now in private because their parents can afford them. There are some people who want to send their children to school, but they cannot afford it. So this is where the government will step in. Some countries are already getting it, but some have not yet gotten it. You know, so that's why we keep advocating that okay, these things can be done, and we are looking forward to it being done. So what did I say before is again?
Quality education.
So we are moving on to SDG 5. Gender equality. Gender equality. So say SDG 5, gender equality.
Gender equality.
Thank you. So what is gender equality? Now, gender equality is like, it's saying that every household, the country at large, should treat both gender equally. Now, what is gender? Like, we have male, we have female, we have boys, we have girls, we have men, we have women. So this particular goal is saying that both genders should be treated equally. Now, if, take for instance, some people prefer to send their boy children to school. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say a family who has 2 children, a boy and a girl, and that family has the money to send only one person to school. Some of them will prefer to send the boy child to school and ask the girl child to stay at home, offload the mother to the market and so. That is gender inequality. So now, if you want to balance that gender, this goal is saying that every child, boy or girl, should be given the same opportunity. They should be given equal opportunity. I hope we understand that. So what did I say is SDG 5 again?
Gender equality.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on to SDG 6. So what do we have here?
Clean water
water, and sanitation. Okay, thank you. So, SDG 5, that just like the word said, clean water and sanitation. Now, this goal is, like we say, SDG 6. So, we already know what SDG is, right? Sustainable Development Goal. So, when I say SDG 6, I'm talking about Goal 6. So, Goal 6 is saying that there should be clean water. And they should also make provision for people to be sanitated all the time. You know your basic sanitation, right? You know your hygiene, your environment, everything, you keep it clean. So now, of course, most of us live in Uniform over here, but I can tell that maybe more than half of you don't have running water in your house. You have to go to the tap to fetch water, right? Or your parents have to go somewhere else to fetch water. It's that. So, but even here, it's better. You know that there are children. I think when I have video illustration, you'll see there are a lot of children in different parts of the world that don't have access to water. People have access to clean water. They don't. In my village, and then when we talk about rural areas, in my village, for instance, before you access a stream, we all know what river is, right? Before you go to the river to get water, you have to walk for more than an hour. That is not how it's supposed to be. So this goal is saying that every country should provide clean water, not just water, but clean water. We should be able to have taps running everywhere. That okay, when you're coming from school, you're tired and you see water, you drink because it's clean. This things are already, done. So and it can be done. So that's what SDG 6 is talking about. So what did you say it is again?
Clean water and sanitation.
Beautiful. So the SDG 7 is talking about
affordable and clean energy.
Very good. Say it again.
Affordable and clean energy.
Hey. So now I know that this English looks a bit big, but what it's trying to say is when we talk about energy, we're talking about this light that we are using now is energy supply. So what we are saying, we should have affordable and clean energy. They're just saying that there should be electricity, there should be access to it. Not just electricity, but we should have access to it. It should be affordable. Everybody should be able to pay. But you know that there are some people that because they are not able to pay for electricity, they disconnect their lights. And some places they don't even have light. There's no light at all. So this goal is saying that there should be affordable and clean energy. So the English they are using basically the energy source where we get our light from. So that is what that particular SDG is talking about. So what government needs to do is to expand our infrastructure if possible. A lot of countries are getting it. There are some countries that when you go they have 24 hours light every area down to their villages. They have light. So this thing can be done. So this goal is saying that every country should aim towards achieving that. Right? So we'll move on to the next one, which talks about Thank you. So what this SDG 8 is talking about is decent work and economic growth. So this one, what it's talking about is decent work. It's just like there should be jobs. People should have jobs. Because if you don't have jobs, how do you provide for yourself? And if there are no jobs, you're unable to work, how do you contribute meaningfully to the economy? So that is what basically SDG 8 is talking about. It's saying that every country should aim to create jobs for everybody. Because right now, you know that a lot of people don't have jobs in Nigeria. You might not understand, you're so young and all that. Which is why we are trying to introduce you to it from early stage. So that you know that these are challenges that the country is facing. These are things that we are supposed to put in place. This is why I've come this morning to introduce you to all these things and what we can do about it. So moving on to SDG 9, we have let me see. Infrastructure. So SDG 9 is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Let's say that.
Industry, innovation, and infrastructure.
Let's do that again.
Industry, innovation, and infrastructure.
Okay, so this SDG, what it covers is it's telling us about how we can achieve good infrastructure. Infrastructure in terms of our transportation, in terms of irrigation, even this energy that we just talked about now. So when you have good infrastructure, we'll be able to achieve a sustainable, empowering communities, especially in our own country, starting from Nigeria. And one thing I also need to add is that all of these goals, because when they met in that meeting that I told you about in the beginning, they said that 2030 is when they are supposed to achieve it. And we're already in 2024, right? So you see, we are 6 years away from achieving that. So moving on to the next SDG, we have reduce
inequality.
SDG 10, reduce inequality. Let's say that SDG 10,
Reduce inequalities.
reduce inequalities.
Reduce inequalities.
Okay, now what this one is saying is there are a lot of countries that are advancing, while some other ones are not progressing. Some countries are progressing. Now, I asked you how many of you want to go to America? Everybody raise their hand because you have heard so many things about America. They have advanced. They have good infrastructure. Everybody wants to go there. Now, but there are all other countries that I will ask. How many of you want to go to some country? You say no, you don't want to go there because you feel like okay, this country is not up to standard. So what this SDG 10 is talking about is we need to reduce these inequalities among countries and create a balance. You know, it's not proper for one country to be advancing and then the other one is not advancing. So SDG 10 is just saying that we need to invest in the other countries that we think are not advancing. Now, in what way are we not advancing? For instance, there are a lot of people who are living in Nigeria now to go abroad for education. Because our educational system, according to statistics, also is not up to par. So they want to go to where they have a better educational system. So the only way to stop this is when you invest in our own education system, right? When we have good educational system and it's up to global standard. Nobody wants to go to another country. You can't go and look for what you have in your country in another country, right? So this particular SDG is saying that we should provide this balance in terms of affordable education, reduce the inequality, invest in skills development, and then implement social protection measures. So these are found in other developed countries. So moving on to SDG 11. So SDG 11 talks about say it again. Fine, let's put our hands together for ourselves. People are really very fast. You want to clap for yourself? Clap for yourself. Very nice. So SDG 11 is saying that we should ensure that we have safe and affordable housing. We should have, upgrade slum settlements. We need to invest in our public transport, create green spaces, and then we need to also improve our urban planning and management in a way that is both participatory and inclusive. What this is saying is we should be able to build houses that people can afford. We should be able to get houses. We don't need to have a situation where people are homeless, people are living under the bridge. I've heard that some people live under the bridge in Lagos. Have you heard that before?
Yes.
Okay. So this board is saying that there should be affordable housing. There should be sustainable cities. We should plan our cities in a way that they are sustainable. So for something to be sustainable, it means that thing will stand the test of time. Over time, that thing will still be there, right? So let's all move on to SDG 12. And SDG 12 is saying
responsible consumption and production.
Good. So SDG 12 is responsible consumption and production. Now what this one is talking about?
That's it.
So what this SDG 12 is talking about is we should be able to, have sustainable consumption. Now everybody said that Nigeria is consuming, we are not producing. And what that does to us is when you continue to consume, you are not producing. It means that it will not be sustainable. That's why we are importing most things now and they are expensive. When the exchange rates change, how many of you are heard that dollar is rising? That's why things are expensive. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. So every country is supposed to ensure that they have, a responsible consumption plan in place. Responsible in the sense that as you know that your people are consuming something like that, you make provision for your way for them to be producing it too. So that we are eating it, we'll have more. But if we continue to consume and we're not producing, that there won't be balance. If you get to a point where we'll now be looking for how to, get this thing done. So let's move on to 13. 13 is climate
action.
Okay, SDG 13, climate action. Say it after me. SDG 13, climate action.
Climate action. Climate action.
Thank you very much. So this climate action, we are talking about climate change, affects every country on the planet. So now, and this is caused by human activities mostly. Sometimes even it threatens our future. Climate change is something that is very, very important. Most countries take it very, very important. Now you want to ask, what is climate change. Climate change is about our weather that are changing. Sometimes people will go out and say, this sun today hot though. So these things are as a result of climate change. So and then some other time, this sea level will be rising. How many of you have heard of flood? When there's rain, like there's flood everywhere. How many of you have heard? So all this flood, they are caused by climate change, the rising level of the sea. The water will be so much that there's nowhere for the water to go again. Just start entering into our houses. I come from a state where every year there's flood. Kogi State. Every year there's flood. Because the way that the flood will cover the road and all of that. So these things are dangerous. So this particular SDG is saying that every country is supposed to put into place different strategies to combat or to fight climate change. And of course, if we don't fight climate change, you know what that means? Water can destroy. This is water as an example. You understand? Even this level of sun that we have, people are saying that it's as a result of climate change. It's supposed to be like that. So you still flood everywhere as a result of climate change. So let me just go on. I'm almost exhausting my time. So SDG 14.
Life below water.
And that again.
Life below water.
Now, who say life below water? We're talking about things that are inside water.
Water.
Thank you. The ocean. Who can tell me one thing that is inside water?
Fish.
Very good.
Shark.
So let's thank you. So let's go with fish. Fish. How many of you eat fish here? Good. So that's what we're talking about. Someone say life below water. That means that the things that are in the sea should be protected. Because if you don't protect them, they stop producing the food that we eat. So most times, how do we protect this thing? When you go to the sea or you go to the ocean, for instance, when you eat of the sea, you don't throw those dirty into the water. There's some things you put there, they harm the living things that are inside the sea. Some of these things are important. There are some medicines that we take. They are made from some things that live in the sea. Most of you know that there's fish, there are other things that live in the sea that are very important to the human race. So this SDG is saying that we should at all costs protect life below water. Life below water, things that are in the sea. So let's move on to the next one. SDG 15.
Life on land.
Say it again.
Life on land.
Let us say that one more time.
Life on land.
Okay, so when we talk about life on land, this particular one is talking about the trees that we have that provide us with oxygen, fresh air. How many of you know that trees provide oxygen?
Yes.
Good. So we talk about trees. Now, how many of you also know that they use trees to create these things that we have?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. So what this particular one is saying that now, in as much as we need our trees to provide some of all those things, if we continue to cut down trees, I'm talking about the big trees like iroko trees, bamboo trees, big ones like that in the forest. So we'll continue to cut them down like that, and we are not planting more. It will get to a point where we no longer have trees to make these things with. You understand? So once there's deforestation, there should also be afforestation. Do we know what deforestation is? The cutting down of trees, that's what it means. And then afforestation is to plant more trees to grow. So this SDG is saying that, okay, let us protect what we have on land. That's why cutting them to do all these things, let us be planting more. Thank you. So the SDG 16 is what?
Peace, justice, and strong instruction.
SDG 16, again.
Peace, justice, and strong instruction.
Institutions. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. Okay, so what this one is saying now, we know what peace is, we know what justice is. So what this system is saying that people everywhere should be free to have an opinion. So, what's your name? What? Farouk. Okay, Farouk, what's your name? Michael. Okay, Farouk should have an opinion about something, and Michael can have an opinion about that, another thing. So Farouk should not be afraid to express his own opinion, because Farouk does not think it's right. No. So this also happens between Muslims and Christians. Sometimes they'll say, Muslims believe something and Christians believe something. So this SDG is saying that everybody should be able to have their belief and live peacefully. You have your own belief, I have your own belief, right? Muslims say they'll go to mosque on Friday. Christians go to church on Sunday. So everybody should be able to have their own belief, have their own worship, and we will not clash. Everybody will live peacefully. So that is what this particular one is talking about. So what this means is both government, civil society, even communities, they need to work together to find lasting solutions to all the problems that we have. And then even insecurity that is ongoing, it's not supposed to be like that. There should be peace everywhere. How many of you have heard that some students were kidnapped in the north?
Yes.
So these things are insecurities. It's not supposed to be like that. So part of this SDG is saying that there should not be injustice, there should be peace, there should be justice. Everyone should be able to live in unity, irrespective of our beliefs. And the last SDG 17 is partnership for the goals. Partnership for the goals.
Partnership for the goals.
Partnership for the goals.
Partnership for the goals.
Okay, so this SDG 17 is saying that now that we have all these goals, one person alone cannot achieve it. All of us need to come together and partner together to achieve these goals. So that is what it says, that we need to ensure that no country is left behind. As one country is achieving, we should hold the other country's hand and everybody achieve this thing together. So that is what this whole SDG is about. So I've introduced you to the 17 global sustainable development goals, and I'm very, very positive that all of you have gotten it. So the final thing I want you to do now is everything that we have learned so far. I want us to just go over it one after the other. And so what did you say SDG 1 is?
No poverty.
And SDG 2?
No hunger.
These are very good. Clap for yourselves. And SDG 3 is what?
Good health and well-being.
Beautiful. And SDG 4 is what?
Quality education.
Good. And SDG 5 is what? Gender equality. And SDG 6 is what?
Clean water and sanitation.
Very good. And our SDG 7 talks about?
Affordable and clean energy.
Good. And SDG 8?
Decent work and economic growth.
Good. And SDG 9 is what? Industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Very good. And SDG 10 talks about reducing
Inequality.
Reducing
Inequality.
Good. And SDG 11 talks about
Sustainability and communities.
very good. And SDG 12 talks about
Responsible consumption and production.
wonderful. And SDG 13 talks about climate
action.
Good. And SDG 14 talks about
Life below water.
life below water. That is very correct. And SDG 15 talks about
Life on land.
wonderful. And SDG 16 is about
Justice and strong institutions.
peace, justice, and strong institutions. Beautiful. And the last one, SDG 17 is
Partnership for the goals.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for yourself. Please do that again. Very good. I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to all of you for being such good students, and you're also very brilliant. I really enjoyed our session. So if anybody asks you that, have you ever heard of sustainable development goals, what would be your answer?
Yes.
Okay. How many goals are there?
17.
Wonderful. Clap for yourself. Thank you. Please let us put our hands together for your proprietor. He has been so helpful. This is how we want to start. Thank you very much for him now. Thank you so much. All right, students. SDG 1 is what? SDG 2 is what? SDG 3? Well, be SDG 4?
Education.
SDG 5?
One more time again.
record?
Yes.
Okay guys, I've just finished talking to the students of Breaking Grounds Nursery and Primary School, and I can tell you that we had a wonderful time. The students were very interactive, brilliant students I must say. It was easy explaining to them the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and trust me, they were catching it. That was really, really impressive. Kudos to the school, Breaking Grounds Nursery and Primary School, only from Maryland. So this is Ladi Akubu once again, and I'm signing out. Peace.